I've got the very latest electric SUVs, and they're the longest range versions of each model, and I'm going to be driving them up north to see how far they can go on a single charge and see how close they get to the manufacturer's claimed range. I'll also be seeing what exactly happens when they run out of electricity. Do they suddenly just like conk out, or can you carry on driving for ages when they say they're actually empty? Who knows? Anyway, I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow. This is the recently updated Audi Q4 e-tron. It has a battery capacity of this and a claimed range of that. This is the Kia EV6, and Kia has just given it a new battery. So the capacity is this, and now the claimed range is that. Tesla's also given its Model Y a new battery before the updated Juniper arrives next year. Anyway, it has a battery capacity of this and a claimed range of that. This is the all-new electric Porsche Macan. Loving the colour, I'm also liking the look. Anyway, it has a battery capacity of this and a claimed range of that. This rather weird rear windowless car can only be the Polestar 4. It has a battery capacity of this and a range of that. Finally, we have the Ford Explorer. It has a battery capacity of this and a range of that. For this EV range test, we've charged each of the cars to 100%. However, we couldn't do it here from our starting location, which is Cherwell Valley Services, because all of these chargers are out of action right now. I think they're doing some work on them. Fortunately, there was a McDonald's just around the corner with 2 Ionity chargers, so we had to ferry the cars backwards and forwards. Not a great start. They've actually just turned on the chargers, so they're just booting up now. Looks like we got our timing wrong. Okay, we're in the cars. I'm going to start off in the Audi Q4. Everyone has got their trip reset. We've got full batteries. We are good to go. Few rules. We are not going to use the cruise control on the cars. We're going to drive them ourselves. Well, we'll use the climate control and set it around 20 degrees. We won't be using the electric seats because they can be a bit of a drain on the battery. Also, we're going to be running at the speed limit. We're not going to be going dead slow until we reach a point that we are struggling for charge, and then you're going to do what any normal EV driver will do and slow down to maximise their range. But until then, we just can drive normally. So then, Nick, lead us away. I seem to be running in efficiency mode. I'm just going to run it in auto mode. No one likes efficiency. There we go. Oh look, here's another charge point which isn't actually working. It looks brand new. At least they're putting new ones in. That's how it should be. Every petrol station, you should have fast charging. Maybe we get in there. We'll find out on this journey. How many service stations I stop at which have inoperable electric car chargers. So let me tell you about this Audi. It starts from just under £48,000, but this one, because it's got the mid-level motor and the larger battery, plus it's the top spec in terms of equipment, it's actually £60,000. Though you can save an average of just under £4,000 off a new Audi Q4 through Carwow. Now, in terms of the interior, they haven't really updated this, but it still looks pretty nice. The infotainment system's easy to use. I like the fact that the climate control is separate. Audi's been doing good digital dials for ages now, and I don't think there's really been much improvement by anyone else. They're nice, clear, got plenty of information, but there are a few things like the plastic up here feels a little bit hard. Down here it's a bit scratchy, and you can tell that this is towards the bottom end of the Audi range, even though it's a £60,000 car. However, the way it drives is quite nice. So this one is on the sport suspension, and it's 15mm lower than standard, yet it still goes over bumps really well, and it hasn't got adaptive dampers, so that's quite impressive. The steering's pretty responsive, and so too is the electric motor. We've got 286 horsepower on this car, 0 to 60, 6.7 seconds. So it's not a rocket ship, but it's just responsive. If you look over there, you'll see that we've got a Skoda Kodiaq as our camera car. So for a bit of fun, we've actually filled up its tank with diesel. It's a 2-litre diesel, and we're going to measure how far that goes on a tank of fuel. We're also going to compare the running costs for each of these cars in this test at the end of the video. So that'll look at how much they cost in terms of electricity for the journey we're doing. So I've just clocked over 20 miles. I've got 89% of my battery remaining. It says I've got a remaining range of 236 miles, and I've been averaging 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour. Not brilliant. Let's find out how the other cars are doing. Kia, can you give me your details, please?
92% battery. I'm averaging 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour, 256 miles remaining.
Polestar, how about you?
91% of my battery remaining, 3 miles per kilowatt hour, 337 miles left of range.
How about the Tesla?
90% battery left, 286 watt hours per mile, which works out at 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Projected range range of 247 miles, but I would imagine the press person who delivered it was a little heavy-footed, so this is only going to go up.
Ooh, fighting talk. How about the Porsche?
93% of its battery remaining.
Ooh.
It's 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, 241 miles.
And finally, the Ford.
91% of its battery remaining, 271 miles, and I'm averaging 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour.
Well, that's quite good. So in terms of efficiency, it's the Ford and the Tesla. But really, I think it's quite close right now. Everything to play for. Oh, one last thing. Skoda Kodiaq, can you tell me your average MPG and your remaining range?
43.8 miles to the gallon, and I have 475 miles of range remaining.
Tell you what, it's a bit annoying. I've got the top of the range car, but it doesn't seem to have surround view cameras. Just, come on. No? That's it. It's a bit mean. I'm about to jump into another car, but before I do, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the practicality of this Q4. So, knee room here in the back's good, headroom's pretty decent, there's lots of foot space. Now let's check out the boot space. So we've got 520 litres of capacity, but that does include this space under here, which is where all the charging cables are. Let's see how usable it is by seeing how many large men we can fit in it. So let's try large man number 1, see if you can fit in. So he fits. I wonder if we can fit another one in there. I think you're going to have to top and tail large man number 2.
Oh no. It's a good job we get on.
You're about to get on very, very well. Right, try and squeeze in. Do you reckon this is doable? Right, I don't think this is going to shut. Oh, almost, but no cigar. One last thing to note about the Q4 is that while Audi has updated it and supposedly facelifted it, they haven't actually changed any of the exterior design. As you can see, look, there's the pre-facelift version. The only difference is the trim level. The design and everything is just exactly the same. Here at Northampton Services, northbound on the M1, there is just one DC charger, and it only does 60 kilowatts. I've now jumped into the Kia EV6. The range starts from just under £46,000. However, this one, being the range-topping GT Line S, costs from just under £55,000. Now, you can save an average of just over £2,000 on one of these through Carwow. And if you want to see how much money you can save on your next car, just click on the pop-out banner ping in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or scan the QR code on screen now. And it's got absolutely everything on it. I've got heads-up display, I've got wonderful blind spot monitoring cameras. Look, you can see that lorry just there, my blind spot. I've got the 84 kilowatt hour battery, which is the biggest one you can get with this car, but it's only the single motor version. It's rear wheel drive, puts out 228 horsepower and could do 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds. Now, when I put my foot down in it, the pickup isn't quite as strong as in the Audi. Also, just the way it goes down the road doesn't feel quite as expensive. The cabin just feels way more high-tech than the Audi. You have separate climate control buttons there. Look like you can just quickly change the temperature like that. And they're not physical buttons, it's like a touch-sensitive screen. It works pretty well. In terms of quality, yeah, it feels about the same as the Audi, really. The seats aren't quite so nice, though. Right, so we're just coming up to 50 miles, and this Kia is averaging 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour, and I've got 82% of battery remaining, which is good for a range of 231 miles. Let's see how the other cars are doing. What's happening with the Q4?
3.2 miles per kilowatt hour, 78% remaining on its battery, and is predicted to do another 226 miles.
What about the Polestar?
Polestar is doing 29.2 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, which works out at 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. It has 83% of its battery left, and it reckons it can go another 308 miles.
Whoa! What about the Tesla?
222 watt hours per mile. That works out at 4.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Battery of 80%, and unfortunately my range has gone up to 276 miles and climbing.
I think Sam wants to check out early. And next, the Porsche.
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 86% battery, and my range is 224 miles.
Seems odd. And finally, the Ford.
3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. I have 82% of my battery remaining, and that gives me 249 miles.
So it appears that the Polestar is going to go the furthest. That's for now, though. Unlike the Audi, look, full 360-degree cameras. Just going to do a quick practicality check. There's loads of knee room, plenty of foot space as well. You can even like recline the seat backs. Headroom, not quite as good as in the Audi, but there's not much in it. Let's check out the boot. We've got some storage under here. The boot capacity, including that storage under there, is 490 litres. We've got a retractable load cover, which could come in handy for our man test. So men, climb in the boot. This might be better than the Audi. Go on. Right. They're in. They are in! That's impressive. Right, I want to show you something. Not only can we fit the guys in the boot, there is room in the front boot. Actually, do you reckon my bottom can fit in there? Let's find out. So, yeah, look, I can just about squeeze in here. I don't know if I can squeeze out. Can you help me out? Literally stuck. Let's get the boys out the boot as well. Are you all right? Sorry, sorry. There were two DC chargers here at Leicester Forest East service station, but they're out of action. In fact, about 3 or 4 months ago when we did another range test, they're out of action then. To be fair, these chargers have now been removed from ZapMap, but they haven't bothered to fit any other new ones in the meantime. Brilliant. I've now jumped into the Ford Explorer, and there's something a bit familiar about this car. This switchgear here reminds me of a Volkswagen. That's because this car underneath its skin is basically a Volkswagen ID4, which actually means that underneath its skin it's pretty much identical to the Audi Q4 I've already driven. So it has the same 77 kilowatt hour battery, it has the same 286 horsepower rear drive motor. In this car though, it's good for 0 to 60 according to Ford of 6.4 seconds, and it feels pretty nippy, nippier than the Kia, but about the same as the Audi. In fact, the whole driving experience is very similar to the Audi. The Ford Explorer starts from just under £40,000. This one I have here is just under £50,000, though you can save an average of £3,000 off one through Carwow. The car I've got is actually in the lowest spec trim, although it's not low spec in any way, shape or form. Got loads of tech on it, including a heads-up display. Got this huge infotainment screen, which I actually prefer to the one in the Audi, apart from the fact that you don't have physical climate control buttons. And look, gimmick oh gimmick, we can change the angle of it. In terms of everything else to do with the car, quality of the materials is quite similar to the Kia really, and the Audi. It doesn't feel £10,000 less good than the Audi. Okay, here we are back in some roadworks, and we've just clocked over 75 miles, and this car is averaging 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. I have 73% of my battery left, which the car says is good for 224 miles. So Kia, what are you doing?
3.2 miles per kilowatt hour, 74% charge, 206 miles remaining.
Polestar?
28.7 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, which equals 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. 76% of my battery left, 282 miles.
Tesla?
230 watt hours per mile, which works out at 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. My battery is at 73%, and my range is now projected at 246 miles.
Porsche?
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 78% of my battery left, and an expected range of 208 miles.
The Porsche is bizarrely low. And finally, the Audi.
3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, 69% of my battery remaining. I'm going to do another 189 miles.
That's doing terrible. I mean, considering the Audi is the same car underneath the skin as this Ford Explorer, its projected range is way off. I think things may change a little bit the further we go, but we'll have to wait to find out. Look at this. Considerably cheaper than the Audi, yet 360-degree cameras. And I'll still cock that up. Even though the Ford Explorer is based on the Volkswagen ID4, it does look a lot better, but that's mainly because the ID4 is such a terrible design. I do prefer the look of the Audi than this, and the Kia EV6 as well, but it's all right. Here in the back, knee room's good, headroom, it's good. Now I personally find it a bit more comfy to sit in than the Kia, mainly because this seat seems a little bit higher off the floor, though you can't recline the seat backs like you can in the Kia. And as with the other cars I've tested so far, flat floor, so plenty of foot space, though you can just squeeze your toes underneath the seats in front. I actually think I'd rather go a distance in the back of this than the Kia. Now for the boot test, we've got a capacity of 470 litres. I would like to lower this false floor for you guys, but I can't because the cables are in there. It's a shame. Though look, unlike with the Audi, we have a soft low cover, so that might actually help you out in terms of space. I think we could be on. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Scream if it hurts. Hello in there. No, I'm so sorry. Right, sorry.
I've been more comfortable. Sorry, Jack.
Oh dear. Oh, sorry. But this was a saving grace, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was bad.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Here at Trail Services, we have 1, 2, 3 DC fast chargers. Though I say fast, they are in fact just 50 kilowatts. And there are 1 CHAdeMO and 2 real slow chargers over there as well. I've now jumped into the Polestar 4. The Polestar range is a bit confusing. Range starts with the Polestar 2. At the top of the range is the Polestar 3, and this Polestar 4 sits somewhere in the middle. Makes no sense. The starting price of the Polestar 4 is just under £60,000. Now this one is actually about £64,000. It's the entry-level car. It's just got some extra bits and pieces on it, like 21-inch alloy wheels and this interior knit, which is quite nice. Now, in terms of equipment, it comes fully loaded. So we've got things like heads-up display, we've got this amazingly huge infotainment system that runs Android, so you don't really need to tether your phone to it. You can just use that system, unless of course you've got an iPhone. Can you actually do Apple CarPlay on it?
Yes.
Yes, you can, apparently, so don't worry about that. It's a bit annoying that you have to do the climate through the screen, but it's got this panel down here with all the key climate buttons on it, but if you want to do the fan speed, you do have to toggle into that. In terms of the interior design, by far and away, this is the nicest car to sit in. In terms of the drive, yeah, it feels pretty sophisticated and expensive, right up there with the Audi in terms of comfort and noise levels. Pretty much the same money as the Audi. Why would you have the Audi over this? We've got a bigger battery, 94 kilowatt hours. We've got similar power, once again, single motor, driving the back wheels, 272 horsepower, 0 to 60, 7.1 seconds, and it feels pretty much as responsive as the Audi. Look, we're going to tick over to 100 miles. There we go. This car is averaging 29 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, which works out to about 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. I have 68% of the battery remaining, and that gives me a remaining range of 254 miles. Let's find out how the other cars are doing. So, Kia, what are your numbers?
3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, 65%, 180 miles range left.
Audi, how about you?
3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, 60% of my battery remaining, 174 miles.
Worse so far. Porsche?
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, I have 71% of my battery left, 188 miles.
It's not great either, but I think it's going to go further than that. Tesla?
4.3 miles per kilowatt hour, I am at 64%, and wonderfully I'm down to 219 miles.
And finally the Ford.
3.9 miles per kilowatt hour, 64% of my battery left, 195 miles.
What's the Skoda doing?
46.9 miles to the gallon, 450 miles remaining.
I want to see if the Skoda can go all the way to where these run out and all the way back to the services we started from, all on one tank. Oh yeah, this one has all the kit. Once again, 360-degree view camera, but better definition and bigger than anything else I've driven so far. This is nice. This Polestar is by far and away the best looking. I can even forgive its slightly funky rear end. Here in the back, knee room is really good. Headroom, that's fairly decent. I do like the fact that you get this full length glass roof. One slight issue I have is that while the floor is completely flat with a decent amount of foot space, these seats are very close to the floor because of all the batteries underneath there. So there's not so much under thigh support, and you can't really slide your feet underneath the chair in front. Though this seat base is quite deep, so you can sort of go a little bit side saddle, and if you want to get a bit more comfy, look at this. If I press this button here and the one on the other side, I can recline the seat backs. I mean, it really does feel quite luxurious in here. Now let's check out the boot. We have 526 litres of space, pretty big, and you've got underfloor storage here and a big bin there for your cables, which means that, oh, if I push that, look, I can lower this down to give more room for you guys. So go on, Jack. I think this is going to work. Come on, Jamie, come on. Look, I'm not going to touch it. Oh, I wonder if that cover's going to just... Yes! It did it! Hey! Right, you guys stay there, because I've got to show you something else, because they thought about this, Polestar have. Unlike with cars from the VW group, look, we have a little bit of storage under here. No, my arse is not fitting in there. No, that's as good as it gets. I think I better release the guys, see how they're doing. Let's have a look. Hi, what's that like?
More comfortable than the Ford?
I've got a question for you. What happens if Jack farts?
I file a complaint with HR.
That's if you're still alive. Well, we've finally found a service station with some decent DC electric chargers, and these are fast chargers. There are 6 of them here, and they can do up to 180 kilowatts. There's 3 other DC chargers over there, but they're only 40 kilowatts, but there's plenty, well, it appears to be plenty for the amount of electric cars here anyway. If you're changing your car, then you've got to check out Carwow, because there's nothing quite like knowing that you're getting a great price, both when selling your old car and finding a new one. Carwow makes all the stuff that's hard work about car changing, like the haggling, the no-shows, and the nasty surprises, a thing of the past, life-changing. Now, if you want to go to Carwow right now, I'll put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, or scan the QR code on screen using your mobile phone to go directly there. Car change, Carwow. Now, while I do think it's a bit of a pain that everything with the Tesla has to pretty much be done through this screen, at least they do lean into that and make full benefit of the fact that there's no real buttons elsewhere in the car. It's just a nice, clean, open space, and people do complain about the quality of Teslas, but actually I don't think it feels bad. All the materials that you touch are soft and squidgy, even down on the door bins as well. There's less scratchy plastics in this than you'll find in the Audi, and this is considerably less expensive, so it starts from £47,000. This one though has the very top level of cruise control, and that's a £6,000 option. Now, it'll do things like stop you at traffic lights in town, but you don't need any of that. The basic system that you get as standard with this car, that's all you need. Now, the infotainment system does have an issue that you can't plug your phone into it. There's no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. You have to use Tesla's system, and it's quite complicated with lots of different features in these different menus, but when you've been with the car for a while, you do learn it, and it is okay. And if you want to change the temperature, obviously you have to go into the air conditioning menu and then look down a little bit. Also, this is by far and away the sportiest car that I've driven so far. Part of the reason for that is the performance that you've got. So this is the entry-level single motor rear wheel drive car, 352 horsepower, 0 to 60 in a respectable 5.7 seconds. But there is one element to this car's driving experience which could put you off. That's the fact that the suspension is a little bit overly firm. Fine when you're on the motorway, but when you're on a bumpy road, it can have you bouncing about a little bit too much. Also, with the Tesla, you get so much tech. So, like with the Kia, look, put on the indicator and you get that blind spot. But with the Kia, you have to go for the top spec car, whereas with the Tesla, standard. This Tesla is my second favourite car to drive so far, after the Polestar. But when you're considering the price, you can see why so many people buy this Tesla Model Y. Right, let's just do a quick battery level check-in. So the Tesla is averaging 23.9 watt hours per mile, which do the calculations, is 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. We've got 53% of the battery remaining, which is good for 173 miles. Let's check in with the other cars. Kia, what are your numbers?
I've got 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, 54%, 147 miles of range.
How about the Audi?
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 47% of battery, 139 more miles.
So it looks like the Audi is going to run out first. What about the Polestar?
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 58% battery left, 218 miles of range.
And the Ford Explorer?
4 miles per kilowatt hour, 53% of my battery left, 169 miles.
And finally then the Porsche.
3.6 miles per kilowatt hour, 62% battery, 163 miles.
Right, that is utterly wrong. Obviously, if you do the maths on its energy consumption and the remaining battery, the size of its battery, it should go much further than that. I think I know the problem with the Porsche. That will have been driven by journalists and they've just been hooning it around. So their energy consumption would have been awful, and it's still calculating the range based on that historic data. We'll find out exactly what happens a little later on. Now look at this. We don't have surround view cameras, but we do have these extra little views here.
and that does help as well. So you sort of got your bird's eye view.
The biggest problem for me with the Tesla Model Y is the way it looks. I know it's very similar to the Model 3, but somehow it just looks wrong and distended. I am not a fan. What I can't fault about the Model Y though is just how roomy it is here in the back. Loads of knee room, headroom's good, and you get the glass roof as standard. The seats are a decent distance from the floor, and there's loads of foot space, and you can slide your feet underneath the seats in front because they're jacked up. And do you know what? This seat back, while you can't move it, it is nicely reclined. There is one small problem, this bit here. It's actually fine for how I sit normally, but if you want to put your head back, and if you're tall, you are going to hit your head on that part there. But it is the most practical car here so far, and that extends to the boot as well. In here, you have a whopping 850 litres of space. A lot of that is underneath there where you keep all your cables, and some more storage underneath here. You have a load cover, which is a firm load cover, so I'm not sure how this is going to work for you guys, because in theory you should both fit in there, but let's see. And I'll deal with this for you. There we go. Get yourself comfy. Oh, you're going to do it, no problem. It's good. Look, and do you know what? This is no problem at all. See if it can shut unassisted. What's your bottom? Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of assistance. So before we let them out, there really is a good amount of space here underneath the bonnet. Look at this. Massive, absolutely massive. Could take a bath in here. Anyway, I better let them out and see what it's like for them in that boot for their final verdict. Jamie, what's it like in there?
It's all right, actually. Yeah, I've got a footwell.
Okay, is it better?
Yeah.
Best so far, Jack?
I'm not the most comfortable.
Okay, all right, Ed. Come on then. Sorry. Oh. Right, thank you very much. Finally, we've come to a service station with a decent amount of electric chargers. So we're at Ferry Bridge near Wakefield. We have 12 fast chargers, so these go up to 350 kilowatts, which is pretty impressive. You've also got a whole bunch of Tesla superchargers over there, and if everything else is full, there are some emergency 50 kilowatt chargers over there, but if you can get a space here, you're going to take it. The Macan is definitely my favorite looking of these electric cars. The front end is really cool. I love this blue paint scheme, and the fact you get blue elements in the headlights, definitely the best looking out of all of them, followed by the Polestar. Here in the back, knee room is all right. Headroom with this panoramic glass roof, which obviously is an optional extra, is all right, but I think for people over 6'4", it might get a little bit snug in terms of headroom. The seat backs are quite upright. Do you know, there's something slightly tight about the feeling here in the back. Maybe it's the footwell isn't particularly spacious compared to the other cars, though you can just about slide your feet underneath the chairs in front. I think out of all the cars, it is the least spacious in the back. You can also get dual zone climate control in the rear, though of course that's an optional extra, and you've got 2 USB-Cs there. The load capacity is 540 litres, which is the second largest here after the Tesla. Now let's see how usable it actually is. So underneath here, we have the Bose sound system. So we probably haven't got the full 540 litres in this car. Once again, that's an optional extra. Let's see how practical it is when it comes to carrying men. So men, do you think? We obviously have a hard load cover, so I don't know how that's going to work out for you. No. Are you ready? Should we give it a go? I might give it some assistance. It's going to need it because your bottom's like poking out. No. Even with me doing that, it's not happening, is it?
No.
You've had a lucky escape. Let me go check out the front boot, because there is one on this car. Whoa! Almost chinned me. Actually, it's a decent amount of space. Look, you can see you got the cable in there. Can I? Yes, look, I can fit in here with my snake-like hips. As you can see, this is a left-hand drive car because it's come over from Germany. We haven't got them in the UK just yet. But boy, if you spec this up like for like with the UK car and the configurator, £94,000 this car. Reason being, it's got over £25,000 worth of option. The entry-level price of the car, like basic, is £68,000. It's more expensive than the Polestar, and that's without any kit on it. If you want the heads-up display, which is lovely, and it can even like show you if you're starting to weave out of your lane, you have to pay extra for that. If you want this particular steering wheel, that's an extra. If you want all this kind of LED lighting, that's extra. If you want this lovely headlining, that's extra. If you want that extra screen there, that's extra. And of course, you're paying for that Porsche tax as well, just for the Porsche badge. All that said, it does feel lovely. However, the entry-level car gets a 340 horsepower rear drive motor, which gives you 360 horsepower when you launch it, and that's why it's the quickest from 0 to 60. It's 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, and it does feel pretty responsive. It also feels the most responsive to drive. The steering is just very, very reactive, but not kind of lighty in the same way that the Tesla is. This particular car does have the optional rear axle steering, which does make it steer a little bit quicker, but in terms of handling, this is the best car, and it rides the best as well, because it is fitted with air suspension, which of course is another option. I don't think it's a massive improvement over that Polestar. It does run it close to Polestar, and that car is a lot better value. In terms of how things feel though, like the indicators and the noise from the indicator, has a touch of quality to it. Soft touch all the way down here. Feels solid as well. We've got climate control buttons, which are separate to the infotainment system. The screen itself is really, really high definition. It's quite easy to navigate as well. Overall, this car has the nicest interior. So look at this, the sun is going down and about to hit 200 miles. So here in the Porsche, I am averaging 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. I have got 39% of the battery remaining, and the car is telling me I've got 102 miles of range left. So I think it's a little bit more. Let's check out the other cars. Audi.
I am doing 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 22% of my battery remaining, further 64 miles.
How about the Kia?
3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, 29% battery, another 78 miles.
How about the Ford?
The Ford is averaging 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. I have 29% of my battery left, which should take me 85 miles.
The Tesla?
4 miles per kilowatt hour, 30% battery, and that is saying a projected 93 miles.
The Polestar. Hello, Polestar.
3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, 38% of my battery left, 141 miles.
Ooh, so the Polestar has the best range. I've pulled over because I've got a bit of a dilemma. I need to decide which car I think is going to go the furthest overall. Is it going to be the Porsche or is it going to be the Polestar? It's going to be close between these two because they're very evenly matched. They are both consuming energy at the same rate. So this is doing 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. So is that. They have similar battery pack sizes. This is the 95 kilowatt hour pack. This is a 94, and they've got similar amount of their batteries remaining. This is on 33%. This is on 32. So I'm not sure which way it's going to go. Now forget the remaining range, because that's a calculation that I think is slightly off for the Porsche. But I've got to decide right now which one I think is going to go the furthest. So which is it? I've gone for the Polestar. Now I'm not sure if it's going to be the right decision. I guess we'll find out. But if I was going to be leasing one of these cars, choosing the Polestar over the Porsche would be the right thing to do, and here's why. So Carwow has just launched its own leasing broker. It's called Carwow Leasing. If I go on there, I can see that I can lease this very Polestar for £440 excluding VAT, and that's over 48 months and with 9 months down. The Porsche, on the other hand, is £700 excluding VAT, once again over 48 months and 9 months down. And that's the Porsche without all the options fitted to our particular car, so it would actually work out more. And for that difference per month, I would definitely go for the Polestar. Now, if you want to check out Carwow Leasing, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or if you're watching on smart TV, scan the QR code on screen now using your mobile phone. Okay, everyone, let's have a quick check-in. So I'm still averaging 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. I've got 28% of my battery remaining, and it reckons I'm going to do 105 miles. What's happening with the Kia?
I've got 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour, I've got 18% battery, and it's saying I'm going to do 45 miles.
Are you going to stick on this route for a bit, or are you going to have to pull off?
I found a fast charger about 43 miles away, so I think I'm going to head there.
Ooh, that's going to be fun. Anyway, Audi, what about you?
My battery warning has just come up at 30 miles of range. I'm doing 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, 11% battery left.
So you're going to have to get off pretty soon.
Yes, I'm going to have to get off in 26 miles is what the sat-nav is saying.
All right, how about the Ford Explorer?
It's averaging 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. I have got 18% of my battery left, which works out to a nice round 50 miles.
All right, and how about the Tesla?
Tesla sat at 247 watts per mile. That is bang on 4 miles per kilowatt hour, and worryingly, I have a petrol station logged in at 52 miles and a range of 57 miles. So we'll see how that goes, and that is a battery level of 18%.
You'd probably be better off going to a charging point rather than a petrol station, but maybe it means a charging point.
Finally then, the Porsche, my main competitor.
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour.
Same.
It has 27% of its
Same.
battery left. Should go 69 miles.
I don't believe that because I'm on exactly the same figures and I've got 99 miles. Can we have a check-in from the Skoda, please?
47 miles to the gallon, 310 miles of range remaining.
You can just turn around and go back. Stop for a break, showing signs of being tired. Yes, I am.
It's the Kia. I've just had a warning to say I need to find a charger. I've got 10% left, but I'm going to keep going.
That's the spirit. I've got plenty of charge remaining, 22%.
Hey guys, it's the Tesla here. I'm at 11% battery and I've had my first warning. High energy consumption. Use navigation to estimate battery level and ensure arrival.
Hey Matt, it's the Audi here. I'm currently sitting at 6 miles of range and I've only got 2% of battery, so I am going to have to come off at the next junction.
Oh, there he goes. Goodbye, Audi.
Been emotional.
1 down, 5 to go. Oh, wait a minute. I've just had a sign flash up that says battery level low and my battery meter's gone to an orange colour. 19% remaining. 72 miles of range. Now we are actually in a 60, so this reduced speed may help it. How's the Kia doing?
The charger I was planning to go to is about 12 miles away and I've got 11 miles of range and 4% battery, so I think I might need to find another charger.
I've had a new warning in the Ford. The sat nav is flashing up. You can only reach one charging station with your current charge level. Do you want to charge there?
News from the Porsche, please check range. So I checked the range and it says 40 miles. I do not know what else to do.
So I've got 17% as well, but mine's saying 64 miles. It's 67 miles to a fast charger, so I'm 3 miles short. Kia, I'm just going to pass you so you can go slower if you need to, just so you can try and crawl to that charging station.
Doing 50's definitely helped. It's saying 6.5 miles away and I've got 6 miles range, so
Come on.
I might need to go a bit slower than that.
Come on, you can do it, Kia. So everybody, let's go. Just at 40, no quicker.
I'm going to turn off now. I've got a power limited sign that's just come up on the dash and I'm down to 0% battery, but I should make it.
That's now 2 down, 4 to go.
It's the Ford here. I have 3% battery remaining, which works out at 9 miles of range, and I have just over 8 miles to go to get to my destination. So I'm going to have to peel off this road very soon, in about 1.5 miles, I think.
Tesla, are you going to join him?
My station is also in 8.3 miles, but I've been told to stay on the road and I get to the station that way, and I am at 4% battery with 9 miles left. One of us is wrong, Nick.
Do you think you're both going to the same charger? Will it be whoever gets there first?
If so, I think that might be Sam, because I've just had a warning that says performance restricted, consult the owner's manual. Well, no time for that because I've got to turn off.
There he goes. Goodbye, Ford. He's just like swerved down there. How long till you have to pull off in the Tesla?
6 miles. I have got 6.1 miles of range left at 3% battery.
Oh wait, I've got a call. Hello?
Hello, hello.
So this is the Q4. What's happened?
The car only let me use 25% of its power once I hit 0 miles and 0%. I finally ran out of charge. The car came to a stop. I then turned it off and then turned it on again, and it let me move it at 4 miles an hour. And then literally as I got to the charger, it just petered out and completely died at 267 miles.
How far did it go after it said there was no battery left?
It only actually did 3 more miles.
And what percent has it done of its claimed mileage?
It's supposed to do 336 miles, but it's only done 79% of its claimed range.
Brilliant. All right, and thank you very much.
Tesla here. I'm going to have to peel off. I've got about 1.5 miles in range. Good luck to everybody.
Okay, Porsche, it's just the two of us now. I've got 9% of my battery remaining. It says I've got 32 miles. I've got 35 miles to the charging point I want to reach in Scotland. What's your car saying?
The Porsche is saying it has 7% battery, 12 miles of range, and I think the charger I need to go to is about 10 miles away. The problem is the next one on from that is quite a way on a dual carriageway, so I am going to be peeling off, I think, at this point.
What's your efficiency though?
Still doing 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour at the moment.
So if you're doing 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, you've got 7% of your battery and you've got a 95 kilowatt hour usable battery. Surely you'll be able to go further than 12 miles.
You probably can, it's just I don't know how much.
Oh, hello. It's a call from Sam in the Tesla. Hey Sam, have you run out of charge?
To be fair to Tesla, I didn't want to do it an injustice, so when I got to the charge station, I had 5 miles left. There was a side road that I went driving around a little bit, and eventually I got down to you can no longer go any further, so I turned round to head back to the charging station. I got right next to the pump, pulled forward to reverse back, and it cut out.
Oh no.
So then I'm blocking the road, and all my fellow Testonians, I googled how to put it into tow mode, and then a fellow Testonian helped me push it back.
This is me enjoying Tesla ownership.
And now I'm sat here. It's already got 112 miles in the tank, so yeah. Electric cars are just amazing, aren't they?
I love the way you call it the pump and the tank. You're such a petrol head. Quick question, how far did you go in total?
294 miles.
And how far did it go after it said it had no miles remaining?
About 7.
Okay, so quite a lot. How far was your car supposed to go on a full charge?
So apparently they're supposed to do 373 miles.
So that means you've done about like 79% of the claimed range.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
And what about the efficiency overall?
3.8 miles per kilowatt hour.
I'll leave you to charge up a little bit more. I'm going to see how far
All
I
right.
can go. See you later. Hey Porsche, how you doing? I'm on 7% battery and 24 miles of range, 30 miles to go to my charging station.
I am on 5% battery, 5 miles of range. As I hit 5% battery, I had another warning come up, the infamous tortoise and drive power reduced. I am going to have to turn right at the next roundabout and leave you, I'm afraid. I'm going to turn right and you're turning left, so this is goodbye.
That's the end of the Porsche. You're not going to make it to Scotland then. I think this Polestar is the only car that's going to do it. I can see him in my mirror. Goodbye, Porsche. Goodbye. Good news, I've made it to Scotland. Hey, look, there's a sign for Edinburgh as well. Not going to be making Edinburgh. Do you know what? This road is familiar. In fact, this very point here is familiar because I actually conked out in another car in a different EV range test. If you want to see what that car is, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen or follow the QR code on screen now. Okay, so I've got a plan. I know that the fast charger is back there in that town. I've got 9 miles of range, 3% battery. What I'm going to do is turn around in this village and head back to that charger and play it safe. See if I can loop back on myself. This is tight. Blimey. Is this right? This is interesting. It'd be terrible if I ran out of electricity here. It'd be rather awkward. I think it must be this way. Oh, this is tight. And then down here, and I should be able to go back on myself. Oh, hello. Phone call.
Hey Matt, it's James in the Kia. I finally ran out of charge, pulled off the A1 with about 0% battery. I made it to the charger and then I probably drove around for like another 10 miles, limited to 20 miles an hour for a bit, and then it wouldn't go any faster than 5. So I was literally reversing in and out of the charging spot before it eventually conked out, yeah.
So it just conked out, stopped driving the car, but you could roll it?
Yeah.
How many miles did you do in total?
I did 280 exactly.
Less than the Tesla, but more than the Audi. Now, what was it supposed to do?
The Kia was supposed to do 347 miles, which is about 81%. I averaged about 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour across the whole trip.
So not too bad, but not brilliant either. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. I've got 2% battery and 6 miles of range left. All right, cheers, mate. Bye. Oh, look, another phone call.
Hello, it's Rory in the Porsche. We have finally come to a stop. Got a bit bored driving around the slow roads, so I ventured back onto the A1, where there was sort of a half a mile stretch before you could turn back on yourself. It was getting slower and slower. I could barely get up to sort of 40 miles an hour. And luckily, just as I was coming on the back stretch back into town, I got a massive red warning saying only manoeuvring was possible. And as I rolled into the McDonald's with the chargers, it couldn't get up the hill, and then I was just stuck on the hill. However, put my hazards on, turned the car off, turned it back on again, found some power, and I just managed to creep down into the car park. It then conked out again. I switched it off, on again, and then it just had enough power to roll itself into the bay. But I've tried moving it again now and it won't go. But I'm actually at the charger and the charger reaches, so it's happy days for me. But yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one.
Oh, well done. So how many miles have you done in total?
318.1 miles. Only done 3.1 miles after 0%.
But the interesting thing is you would have made it to Scotland because I've done 320 miles and I've gone past the charger more than like 5 miles ago. I'm now coming back to it. So you could have made Scotland.
You know, I said I went up the A1 a bit. I did make it to Scotland, 500 metres. And then I turned around and came back to England, and I went back to Scotland again about 4 times. But I'm now in England again.
Oh, well done. 318.1. That is the best so far, apart from me, because I'm now at 320 and I'm still going. So what was your claimed range?
I think it was supposed to do 386 miles. I think that's 82%.
What was your energy consumption over the whole journey?
3.5 miles per kilowatt hour.
That's all right. Okay, all dear luck. 1% battery, consider charging. I'm going to drive around for a bit. Oh, here we go, another phone call. It's the last one. So tell me what happened with the Ford.
Hit 0%, still had 1 mile of range, which was a bit strange, but it carried on going for another 5 miles after that, most of which in manoeuvring only mode, which limited it to 4 miles an hour.
Oh.
It eventually died at 291 miles.
That has just been beaten by the Tesla, but you did beat the Audi and the Kia. So go on then, what was the range that your car was supposed to do?
So it's supposed to do 374 miles, which means I managed to do 78% of that, which is not too bad.
Among the worst, actually, so far. What was your energy consumption?
3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, so that feels pretty good.
Well, I've got 1% battery and 2 miles of range remaining. I'm still going. I'm the only one. I am over 320 miles. This car has won, but we need to find out just how much by. Oh, look, no battery life left. Remaining range, 1 mile. So that's at 324 pretty much. Not really getting much in the way of warnings. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to turn around here.
There is a charger in there.
No way. Oh, this could be perfect. Right, I'm gonna keep going for now. I've got the safety of a charger there. Let's see how much further I can go. Come on, car. Oh, going slightly uphill now. And it's struggling. I'm hoping to slingshot around this roundabout and get back on this road again, because I think this is my last bit of driving. Go on, bus. Do not pull out, bus. Do not pull out, bus. You definitely pulled out. Ah, come on! Oh, I got dirted by the bus. We're going to do 330 miles. We're at 328. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to get back up this hill. Can't go over 16 miles per hour up here. I think we're definitely going to make 330. Maybe we can make 332, because that means I'd only be 40 miles shy of the claimed range for this car, which is 372 miles. It can't possibly make it up this hill again. Oh, my foot is on the floor. The speed is holding at 15. If I can just make it up here. Come on. Yes. So that's 40 miles within the claimed range. Next challenge is to get to 333, because if we can, that is pretty much 90% of the claimed range. No other traffic, please. No other traffic. Bugger. Go, 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 go. Come on, come on, come on. Get round. Don't slow down. God, you're going slower than me. Classic Honda Jazz driver. Slingshot. This is it. Don't stop here, Polestar. Come on, 332.9. Get me to 333. Come on, get me to 333. We're going up a hill. Ah, this hill could kill me. Less than 100 meters. We've got to do this. Then you've got 90% of your claimed range. Yes! 333. 90% of the claimed range. Whatever happens now is a bonus. Oh no. I just felt something. It's just lost all power. We're at the top of the hill as well. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. It is game over. The car has stopped. It's rolling back a bit. 333.1. We've got 28.1 kilowatt per 100 miles, so that is 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. We have done 90% of the claimed range. I think it's the clear winner in terms of range. I think it's the clear winner as well in terms of what you're getting for your money. Now we just need rescuing. The good news is it does actually roll, so it can be pushed. We're not going to push it though. The RAC have a fleet of vans which are equipped with AC charging, and they can charge up to 4 kilowatts. So we'll get some juice into this battery and I'll be able to drive it down to that charger down there. So we charged up using the RAC for about 10 minutes. We've now got 1 mile of range, even though it's saying battery 0%. We should be good to go, I think. Wait, are we actually good to go? No, we're not. It's rolling back. Don't understand. I bet if you're going reverse. No, it's not got any power. That doesn't make any sense. Right, let's keep charging. Clearly, I hadn't left it on charge for long enough, so after a few more minutes plugged into the RAC van, the Polestar was able to drive to a nearby charge point. But how did its performance compare to all the other cars in this test? Well, the Polestar won. It did 333 miles, which is 90% of its claimed range, and achieved 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. Next was the Porsche, which did 318 miles. That's 82% of its claimed range. It also returned 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. In third place was the Tesla, which did 294 miles. That's 79% of its claimed range. It managed 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. The Ford did 291 miles, which is 78% of its claimed range, and it achieved 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour. Meanwhile, the Kia did 280 miles. That's 81% of its claimed range, and it did 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. Last was the Audi. It did 268 miles, which is 79% of its claimed range, and it managed 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. But I haven't mentioned the Skoda camera car, and that brings us onto costs. The Kodiaq still had 205 miles of range remaining in its tank when the Polestar ran out of battery, and its average economy was 47.2 miles per gallon. But this doesn't give you the full picture, because obviously we drove to Scotland, but we also needed to drive back. And when you calculate the full round trip, the Skoda used £92 in diesel to drive from a start point to where the Polestar stopped, and then back again. And it only needed to refuel once on the way back. Meanwhile, the Polestar actually needed to be recharged twice during the same round trip. But the cost of all the electricity it used, amazingly, came to the same £92. However, the Polestar's initial charge was done using a home charger, which works out a lot cheaper than using public fast chargers. Had we used DC fast charging for the outward leg as well as the return leg with the Polestar, the overall cost would have actually come to £140, which is almost £50 more than with the Skoda. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you want to watch some other videos, click on the windows, click on the Carwow logo for a special surprise, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.